and I'm very excited today because I'm gonna go outside with my dad and ride a two-wheel bicycle. But I'm not very great at the two-wheel bicycle, but I'm gonna try very great. And now today we're gonna read the Magic Giraffe's Merlin mission book. 16, A Ghost Tale for Christmas Time, and today we're gonna start reading at chapter 4, Out, 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 and the end of reading at chapter 5, okay? And now, are you ready to read this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. And first you can read is the Magic Giraffe Merlin mission book, 16, A Ghost Tale for Christmas Time. Chapter 4, Out, Out, Out. Jack and Annie hurried around the back door and slipped inside to the house. They walked through a small, dark mudroom and stepped into the large front hallway. The sun slanted through the tall windows. Everything seemed to be made of covered wood or marble. A wide staircase covered the second floor. Get to work, Sleeps, begged the housekeeper. Do the regulator. Mrs. Peebles laughed and complied down the back stairs. Jack had heard the pots chattering below. He realized the kitchen must be in the cellar. The rest of the house was quiet as if it was waiting for the mother and children to return. I wonder where Mr. Dickens is writing, Annie whispered. He must be working quietly somewhere in the house, said Jack. Mrs. Tibbles came bursting up the back stairs and burst into the front hallway. I told you to get to work, she said. If I don't see you working in 2 minutes, I will throw you out on your ears. The housekeeper then disappeared with the white staircase to the second floor. I guess we better get to work, said Jack. So where do we start? Said Annie. Let's check our fireplaces at the floor, said Jack. And Jack and Annie crept to the dining room that overlooked the garden. The fire cracked into the hearth. She can't escape to us to clean that chimney, said Jack, unless she wants us to burn to death. Jack and Annie went back to the front hall and into the room full with the leather-bound books. There's no fire in the large fireplace, but the room was bright and warm, and it had a big window, a rich-colored plush carpet, and the mirrors that reflected the light from outside. A vase of the fresh flowers sat on the desk, facing one of the windows. Oh, Nan, I love this room, said Jack, staring at all the books. Yeah, and look, there's a desk with a feather pen and paper, said Annie. I'll bet this is where Mr. Dickens does his writing, and I wonder where he is. Maybe he's taking a break, said Jack. Maybe he will come in here soon, said Annie. Let's start cleaning the chimney. Okay, said Jack. But first, we have to figure out how. He unbuckled the greenback and pulled out the research book. He looked at the index and found the chimney sweeps. He turned to the right page and read aloud. And the Baker and Eagleland young boys work at the chimney sweeps, cleaning the suit makeup by coral fires. That's not only a dirty job, it's a dangerous one as well. Great, said Jack, closed the book. Good one, Annie. You made us keep the nice clothes and all out your money and landed our dirty, dangerous job. Don't worry, said Annie. We've showed our core, washed the dishes, and hold bananas with Louis Armstrong. We can do this. Yeah, but how do we do it? The book doesn't tell us, said Jack. Well, we've got the brush, broom, and rags, said Annie. Let's start by using them. Remember, we are waiting to run the cherry Dickens, and then we'll chat and hum to the music. And okay, said Jack. He put the book away. Jack and Annie stepped to the hearth and got down her hands and knees and began to scrubbing the stones with the brush. And Jack had pushed the broom of the chimney and trying to sweep the soot off the bricks and the pile with the soft black powder fell on his head, and he got his eyes and mouth. Oh no, whispered Jack, puffing and blowing. He sneezed his eyes shut, but he felt Annie yank asleep. Don't, he said. Shh, whispered Annie. He's here. Jack opened the watery eyes. He saw a small, slender man standing to the hallway outside the door. The man was a wavy brown hair. He wore a dark coat with pants, reading some papers and muttering to himself. Mr. Dickens, whispered Annie. Before Jack could say anything, the man shouted, Let no one enter my study, Miss Tibbles, under plenty of death. And he came to a study and slammed the door. Plenty of death? Jack thought he got to be kidding, but he and Annie crouched down in the fireplace. Mr. Dickens didn't notice them. Jack and Annie's green velvet back sitting off the carpet, and he had crossed the room, and he swooped, looking at his papers and muttering to himself. And he sat down at his desk and fancying window. He had picked up the feather pen and dipped it into the ink pot and began to write. Suddenly, Mr. Dickens leapt out of a chair and rushed into the mirror. He put his hands around his neck and cried, Ah! He struggled and made a horrible face that someone was choking him. Then the writer hurried back to his desk and scored a few more lines. He stopped up the read have he written. Good, he said. Then Mr. Dickens had lifted up again and rushed out to the mirror. And this time he had rapped his head with the knuckles, and he had looked furious. Bah, 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 he shouted. And Jack and Annie watched it and Frenchine it. Again, Mr. Dickens hurried back to the desk and wrote. He had stopped and read, and he had written. The crumb of the paper threw it across the room. He covered his face and his hands and murmured, I can't. It was still for a long moment. Excuse me, are you okay? Annie asked in a soft voice. Mr. Dickens had gasped and right around, and he saw Jack's green velvet bag on the carpet. What is that? Who's here? And then he saw Jack and Annie huddling in the fireplace. He jumped out of his chair. Chimney sweeps? He said. Why are you in my study? Sorry, we're just working on the chimney, said Annie. Mr. Dickens groaned. I can't bear it, he said. I have to get out. I have to leave. He rushed across the room and threw the open door. The housekeeper was sleeping the whole way. What's wrong, Mr. Dickens? She said. I'm finished for today, Mrs. Tibbles, said Mr. Dickens. He pointed back to his study. Mrs. Tibbles saw Jack and Annie. Oh, what are you doing in here? She cried. Mr. Dickens, I'm sorry, Never mind, I'm going out, said Mr. Dickens. Tell Mrs. Dickens, Mrs. Dickens, I don't know when I'll be back. He grabbed his hat and walking out a stick, and then he hurried out to the front door. Mr. Dickens, don't go, said Mrs. Tibbles. But the door had closed before she could stop him. Mrs. Tibbles twirled around and charged into the room. What are you doing in here, for free braids? She shrieked. You know you're starting to be back. You know you're starting with the back rooms, not the study. Never his study. She waved up the broom at them, as if she was trying to sweep them away. Out, out, out! Jack grabbed his green bag, and then he and Annie filled with the from the Mrs. Tibbles her broom, and they have hurried out the front door. Mrs. Tibbles had followed them to the iron gate. Poor Mr. Dickens, you have ruined this day, she cried. I hope that makes you happy. No, it doesn't, said Annie. Old England is waiting from the next story, cried Mrs. Tibbles. Oh, bother, thought Jack. Mrs. Tibbles yanked open the gate. As Jack and Annie had tried to slap past her, she grabbed Jack by his jacket. She had looked at him closely. Why are you not Harry? She turned to look at Jack and Annie. And you're not Colin. You have done my regular sweeps, she cried. Nothing, they're fine, said Jack. You'd better not have hurt them, you scamps, said Jack. She said, and pushing Jack and then Annie out of a sidewalk. They're fine, we promise we're sorry, said Annie. There's no forgiveness of a harm you done today, the housekeeper said, looking like it might burst into the tears, as she had pushed the iron gate shut. It slammed with a loud clang. And now it's chapter 5, Stuffed Thief, and tomorrow we're going to start reading at chapter 5, and then reading at chapter 6, maybe, or 7, or we're going to get a new book, any new stories, but not maybe. It's just maybe. And now, did it happen? U.S. English Country become with some this book, and but it will be a new book and a new store. It will be a new story, not a new book, because it will gonna be the new chapter to read, okay? And now please thumbs up my YouTube, and bye bye everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.